Hello and good night. Welcome to another bedtime story. This story is meant to help you sleep or to relax your mind. Try and find a comfortable place, such as your bed or a soft chair. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes now. Try and let go of the day as we begin our tale. Tonight's story is Anansi and the Wisdom of the World. Long ago, in the time when the world was young, the sky was closer to the earth, and the animals still walked and talked like men. There lived a cunning spider named Anansi. Anansi was a trickster and a storyteller, often taking the form of a spider, but sometimes appearing as a man, or even a combination of both. He was small, but he was clever, and he prided himself on his wit. Anansi had traveled far and wide, weaving his webs of trickery, always seeking ways to outsmart others. But despite his intelligence, he realized that he did not know everything, and so he devised a plan. Anansi decided that he would collect all the wisdom in the world and keep it for himself. If he could gather every bit of knowledge, then he would be wiser than any other creature. No one would be able to outwit him, and he would be the greatest of all. Thus, Anansi set out on his quest. He spun a strong silk bag and carried it with him wherever he went. From the wise old tortoise, he learned patience. From the swift hare, he learned speed. From the mighty elephant, he learned strength. And from the clever monkey, he learned cunning. He traveled across the land, listening, observing, and gathering every lesson, every story, and every secret he could find. Soon, his bag was heavy with knowledge, full to bursting with the wisdom of the world. Satisfied that he had collected all there was to know, Anansi returned to his home. But then, a thought troubled him. What if someone tried to steal his wisdom? He could not allow anyone else to have what he had gathered. He decided he must hide it somewhere no one would be able to find it. Anansi searched for the perfect hiding place. He considered burying it in the ground, but the burrowing animals might dig it up. He thought about sinking it in the river, but then the fish might find it. Then he had an idea. He would hang it in the tallest tree, far out of reach of any creature. So, one evening, Anansi set off towards the tallest tree in the forest. He tied the heavy bag of wisdom to his belly with strong silk threads and began to climb. But the bag was large and bulky, and every time he reached for a higher branch, it swung in his way. He struggled, slipping and stumbling, growing more and more frustrated. Now Anansi had a young son named Sin, who had been watching his father with curiosity. He called up to him, "Father, why don't you tie the bag to your back instead of your belly? That way, it won't get in your way." Anansi froze. Here he was, with all the wisdom in the world in his bag, yet his own son, who had none of it, had thought of a smarter way to carry the bag. For all his gathering, for all his trickery, he had not thought of something so simple. It was at that moment Anansi realized that no one being could ever hold all the wisdom in the world. Wisdom was meant to be shared. In his frustration, he yanked the bag from his belly and flung it into the air. The bag split open, and the wisdom it contained scattered in the wind. The knowledge spread far and wide, carried to every corner of the earth. It settled in the minds of all creatures, birds, beasts, and men alike. And so, to this day, no one person is the wisest of all. Each creature holds a piece of the world's wisdom, and together they share in the knowledge that makes the world whole. And as for Anansi, though he was embarrassed by his mistake, he laughed and went on his way, still weaving webs of trickery, but forever remembering the lesson that wisdom belongs to everyone. Anansi's stories have become legends, passed down for generations, teaching lessons of wisdom, wit, and survival. He is known for his cleverness and his ability to outsmart even the mightiest of creatures. Many of his tales serve as morale lessons, emphasizing the importance of intelligence over brute strength. Thus ends the tale of Anansi and the wisdom of the world. Thank you for listening to this bedtime story. I hope you enjoyed the tale tonight. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more audiobooks and tales to come. Until next time.